I walked in, and my first thought wasn't that they were cheating. It was that my mom still owned that red sweater. The one I begged her to throw away after she wore it to my rehearsal dinner and got wine spilled down the front. But there it was, on the floor, next to his belt. I stood in the hallway for 10 full seconds before either of them saw me. By then, it didn't matter. The sound was already in my ears, the wet, breathless rhythm of something I was never supposed to hear. When he turned, the first word out of his mouth wasn't sorry. It was my name, like I was the one who had done something wrong. My mom scrambled for the blanket. Her face was flushed. Not with shame, but anger, like I'd caught them mid-conversation instead of mid-whatever it was. I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I left. I walked out of the house barefoot, keys in hand, sweater forgotten, and for the next 6 hours, I drove. No destination, just away. The betrayal didn't hit all at once. It came in layers. First, him, my husband, the man who promised to protect me. Then, her. My mother. The woman who raised me. Then came the next layer. How long had it been going on? Because what I saw wasn't clumsy. It wasn't reckless. It was familiar. Like something well-practiced. Like something with a history. We had been married 4 years. We were trying for a baby. My mom had been staying with us for the last month or so after her surgery. I thought I was helping her recover. Turns out I was giving them a private vacation. The worst part? I didn't know who to confront first. The man I had sex with every night, or the woman who taught me how to braid my hair. I didn't go home that night. I checked into a motel off the freeway and sat under the shower until my skin pruned. My phone buzzed 19 times before I threw it into a drawer. Texts from both of them. No voicemails. They didn't want to explain. They wanted to control the narrative. The next morning I went back. Not to forgive, not to scream. To see, to feel the house again with new eyes. The couch where they sat during movie nights. The kitchen table where we played cards. The bed where I slept beside a stranger. But here's where the first twist begins. Because when I opened the bedroom door expecting silence, she was still there. Alone. My mom, sitting on the edge of the bed, fully dressed, clutching something in her hand. It was a bracelet. Gold. Mine. The one he gave me for our last anniversary. Her fingers were curled around it like it was a rosary, and her eyes weren't crying. They were calculating. She didn't even flinch when I walked in. My mother looked up from the bracelet like she'd been expecting me, like she knew I'd come back, like she wanted me to see her like this. Poised, collected, composed. Not the woman tangled under my husband just 12 hours earlier. I didn't speak. She did. You were never supposed to see that. Not, I'm sorry. Not, it's not what it looked like. Just a statement. Flat, final. I asked her how long. She said nothing. So I asked again, how long have you been sleeping with my husband? She tilted her head like she was calculating what kind of answer would hurt less, and then she said it. It started before the wedding. That's when the second twist came that took my breath. Not just betrayal, but before the vows, before the ring, before I stood in front of everyone I loved and promised my life to a man who was already hers. My knees gave out. I sat on the floor because standing felt performative. She didn't reach for me. She just placed the bracelet on the nightstand like it didn't belong to either of us anymore. She said she didn't mean for it to happen. That it started with late-night talks. That he understood her. That he reminded her of my father. That was her excuse. He reminded her of my dad. My father died when I was 15. A car accident, a 2-lane road, and a drunk driver. My mom never dated again. Never brought anyone home. Never mentioned needing someone. I thought she was still grieving, but maybe she was just waiting. She said he pursued her, said she tried to stop it, said it only happened once, then twice, then again, until it wasn't an accident anymore. It was a pattern. I asked her if he loved her. She said, he loves you. And that's when I started laughing. Because what kind of person says that after what I saw, after what she did? He loves you. Like that meant anything now. Like that canceled out the image burned into my brain, the curve of her hip under the sheet, his hand on her thigh, The way they didn't look surprised when I walked in. Because it wasn't the first time they'd been caught. Just the first time by me. I left without taking anything. Not clothes. Not my phone charger. Not the letter I'd been writing for him for our 5th anniversary next month. I drove to my cousin's place, told her there was an emergency, slept for 18 hours, and when I woke up I had 44 missed calls, 23 from him, 19 from her, 2 from my grandmother. My grandmother never calls. She said, "It's time you knew the whole story." I thought she meant the affair. I was wrong, because what she told me next was the third twist I never saw coming, and this changed everything. My grandmother's voice was calm, like we were talking about groceries. She said, "Sweetheart, I think you should come over." I told her I wasn't in the mood for family. She said, "This isn't about feelings. It's about facts. About your mother." I didn't want to go. I went anyway. She lived alone in a yellow ranch house tucked between 2 churches and a bait shop, the kind of place that always smelled like powder and lemon and secrets. She was waiting in the living room with a photo album already open on her lap. She didn't ask how I was, didn't ask what happened, and she just pointed to a picture. It was from 1989. My mom, in a sundress, holding a baby with a little boy next to her, maybe 2 or 3 wearing a birthday hat. Not me. And not Charlie, my older brother who was everyone's favorite. This baby looked like a boy. And the little boy had blonde hair. There were no names written on the back. Just the date and happy 3rd birthday. "Who are they?" I asked. My grandmother sighed. "That's your mother holding her first son, and the little boy belongs to the father of the baby." I laughed. I thought she was kidding. She wasn't, and that was the next twist in my family drama. My mother had a child before my brother, a child she never mentioned. My grandmother said the baby boy was born when my mom was 19. No one knew who the father was at first, but they always suspected it was Jonathan Blair, the town's married pharmacist, whose wife was killed in a house fire. My mother refused to confirm it. She was wild back then, reckless, angry. She told everyone she'd had a miscarriage years later. It wasn't true. The boys were adopted, closed file, quiet deal, no questions, and no one ever brought it up again. Until now. I asked her why she was telling me this now. She said, "Because I think you just walked in on your husband, and I believe he's the 3-year-old boy in the photo." I felt like the floor gave way beneath me. That couldn't be true. It couldn't. I told her she was wrong. She said, "Look at his eyes, look at his mouth, look at his birthday." I did. His birthday? March 16th, my husband's birthday, the same day the photo was taken, the same everything. I drove home like my body wasn't connected to my brain. I pulled out his license, his birth certificate. I tore through the filing cabinet where I kept all our paperwork, like some desperate raccoon clawing through trash. There it was. Date of birth, March 16th. Place, Oak Ridge County. Mother, Maria Blair. Father, Jonathan Blair. He'd told me his parents were killed in a fire, that he was adopted with his younger brother, said it was a closed adoption, said he never cared to find out anything more about who his birth parents were, said I was his real family. I thought it was romantic. Now I saw it for what it was. Foreshadowing. That night I didn't sleep. I just sat on the floor with that photo of the little boy and his baby brother in one hand and our wedding picture in the other. He looked just like the boy in the picture. Not obviously. Not to anyone who didn't know what to look for, but I knew now. And once you know, you can't unsee it. I fell asleep in the guest room that night. The next morning, I walked around the house like it was mine again, though it hadn't felt like mine since the red sweater on the floor. She was in the kitchen. He was sitting on the edge of the couch, like a kid waiting to be grounded. I didn't scream. I held up the photo, held up the birth certificate, and said the words I didn't believe even as they left my mouth. "Are you her baby's brother?" He didn't say anything. She did. "We weren't sure." That sentence hit harder than all the others combined. We weren't sure. Like this was a question they'd already asked themselves, more than once. She didn't cry. She didn't deny it. She looked at me like a woman already judged, already convicted, already resigned to the consequences. I asked how long they knew. He said, "I found out after we got married." I asked why he didn't tell me. He said, "Because it was too late by then." I asked what that meant. Too late to undo the marriage? Too late to stop the affair? Too late to tell the truth? Too late to not sleep with my mother? And then came the next twist in my saga. The part that shattered everything I thought I understood. He pulled out a letter. Worn edges, folded corners, a DNA test from a private clinic. 2 names, his brother's and my mother's. Probability of maternity, 99.998%. Dated 18 months ago. I stared at the paper until it blurred. He said he'd always wondered. He said he got the test after noticing how similar they looked. He said he never thought it would come back positive. And when it did, he didn't know what to do. So he did nothing. Except he moved her into our house. He watched her limp up the stairs every day. He brought her tea. He made her laugh in the kitchen while I worked late. And then one night, it happened. I asked why. Why would he sleep with her if he knew? He said he didn't mean to, that it started emotionally, that she was lonely, that he was angry, that they were confused. Confused, that's what they called it. Confusion, as if that excused anything, as if biology were an abstract concept, as if betrayal were just a technical error. I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I left. Again. But this time, I didn't go to my cousin's. I went back to my grandmother, told her everything. She nodded like it was a movie she'd seen before. She said, "I tried to warn your mother that those children would come back. The truth always does." And then she handed me something else, a second envelope, torn at the edges. Inside, a second birth certificate, his brother's birth certificate. Only this one didn't say, Maria Blair. It had her name, my mother's. Her real name, her maiden name. Which meant they knew all along, and they buried it. The paper in my hands wasn't old. It was printed on thick cardstock, crisp edges, government seal intact. It didn't look like something from 1989. It looked like something from last year. Because it was. My grandmother watched me as I read the certificate again. Name, Lee Michael Blair. Date of birth, March 16, 1989. Place of birth, Oak Ridge County Medical Center. Mother's name, Victoria Lewis. Father, Jonathan Blair. My mother's maiden name. Before she became Victoria Carter. Before she married my father. Before she had my brother and I and raised us. I traced my finger over the seal. It was real, not a copy. And that's when the world tilted sideways. Because they always knew. I looked at my grandmother. She didn't blink. I asked her how she knew. She said, "Because I was there when he was born. I held him, I fed him, I loved him for 6 months before she vanished." That stopped me cold. I didn't know what to say. She went on. She left in the middle of the night with him, 1 year after the fire that killed his mother. Packed her things, took the baby and the boy. Said they were moving out west to start a new life. We begged her to reconsider, but she was under his spell. We didn't hear from her for years. Then one day she comes home with your brother, a new baby, a husband, a clean slate. And we were supposed to forget. She pulled a shoebox from the closet and handed it to me. Inside, hospital bracelets, Polaroids, a single baby shoe, and a journal, my mother's. I opened it. The first page was dated 1 week after his birth. He doesn't cry much. It scares me more than it comforts me. I look at him and see myself. Not in a good way. I want to be better. I don't know how. The entries shifted after a month. They got darker. He doesn't look at me like a baby should. I think I broke something. Maybe he deserves someone else. And then, nothing. The rest of the journal was empty. Just pages and pages of white silence. That's what she did. She disappeared, erased her first life like it was a rough draft, until he came back into it. That's what my husband was. Her first family, her unresolved guilt, her punishment, her temptation, her proof that some stories don't stay buried. And then came the twist that blindsided me because it wasn't just guilt, it wasn't just shame, it wasn't just forbidden desire. It was money. My father had left us a sizable inheritance, nothing extravagant, but enough that it mattered. A trust, structured, protected, accessible to me after 30. To her, only as a cosigner if I were incapacitated or married. And tucked into the back of the journal, Paperclipped behind the last blank page was a note in my mother's handwriting, scrawled, almost frantic. If she never finds out, it goes to her. But if she does, I have to make sure it goes to him. I read it twice, 3 times, and I didn't understand, until I looked through the trust paperwork and realized she had filed new documents, quietly, without a lawyer, declaring me unfit, using the affair as grounds for instability, my volatile emotional state, her own testimony, witness statements, one of them from my own husband, signed, dated, just 4 weeks before I caught them. The affidavit read, "Emma has become increasingly erratic. She has outbursts, she forgets things, she stays in bed for days. I worry about her ability to handle finances long term." He submitted it on my behalf, as my partner, my protector, my husband. It was all there. A paper trail of manipulation, a quiet campaign to strip me of access to my own life, so the trust would be rerouted. To him and her. That's what the affair really was. It wasn't about passion. It was a partnership, a con. My mother and her first family, my husband, rewriting history and stealing mine in the process. I drove home at dawn. The house looked the same porch light humming, same weeds poking through the brick, same wind chimes tapping against the window like nothing had shifted. But the air felt heavy when I stepped inside, like it wasn't my house anymore, like the walls belonged to them. She was gone. He wasn't. He stood in the living room barefoot, wearing the hoodie I bought him 2 Christmases ago. His eyes were red, but not from crying. From staying up all night, maybe, practicing his excuses. I dropped the box on the table. The bracelet, the birth certificate, the trust paperwork, the journal. I didn't say anything. He didn't either. I let the silence stretch until it cracked. And then I asked, "Did you know before we met?" His shoulders stiffened, his mouth opened, but I didn't need the answer. Because that pause, those 2 seconds, told me everything. He knew, and I was never his choice. I was placed. A setup, a pawn, a daughter raised to one day marry the son of her first family. My mother had known, all along. She knew who he was when she met him at that conference 5 years ago. She knew when she introduced us. She knew when she invited him to family dinners, when she insisted we go on vacations alone, when she gave her blessing over wine and candlelight. She orchestrated the meeting, the courtship, the entire relationship. I remembered her exact words the night before our wedding. "You've finally found someone who understands you." Because she understood him. Of course she did. She stepped in as his mother when he was just a little boy, and when I asked him why he played along, why he married me, he didn't cry. He just looked tired and said, "I thought it would fix something." Fix what? Their past? Her shame? His confusion? He didn't explain. I asked him if he ever loved me. He didn't answer. He didn't have to, because the final photo in the box was of the 3 of us. Me, him, her, smiling, matching sweaters, holiday lights behind us, my mother's hand on my shoulder, his arm wrapped around my waist, and a look between them I hadn't noticed before, until now. I left again, not out of rage, out of clarity. Because the truth wasn't just betrayal, it was construction. They didn't break my life. They built it, together, every part, and I was just the final piece in a puzzle that started before I was born. I stood up and looked around. The house was cold, even though it was July. Not cold in temperature, cold in memory. I walked the perimeter slowly, like it was a crime scene, each object whispering a different version of the same truth. The framed wedding photo on the entry table, the recipe card in my mother's handwriting tucked behind the spice rack, the extra toothbrush in the guest bathroom, still damp from that morning. It all looked like a home, but now I knew it was a set, a carefully crafted illusion. A life built for me by 2 people who knew more about each other than they ever told me. I opened the hallway closet. Inside, my mother's sweater was still hanging. The red one. The one she wore to our rehearsal dinner. The one she left in my bedroom the night she accidentally fell asleep in the guest bed next to our room. I remember laughing about it at the time. She must have been exhausted. She drank a little too much. She's just getting older. Now I knew better. That sweater had never been left behind. It had been placed just like the day I caught them. Like a marker, a warning, and I missed it. I missed everything. I made a cup of tea I didn't drink. I folded towels I didn't need. I moved through that house like a ghost rehearsing a memory that no longer fit. Every corner of it felt like them, not me. And still, I didn't leave. Because I needed to know. Not just what they did, but all the reasons why. I wasn't looking for redemption, or even explanation. I was looking for origin, because something like this doesn't happen in a vacuum. People don't accidentally destroy a life over a few dollars. They build toward it, and when I went through my husband's desk one last time, I found it. A manila folder thick with letters, not to me, to him, to my husband. Dozens of them. Some were typed, others handwritten. None were mailed, all hand-delivered. The earliest one was dated a year before I met him. I don't know what I'm doing reaching out like this. I don't know if you remember me. I used to be your mother. You'll meet my daughter soon. I'm going to make sure of it. My breath caught in my chest. She wasn't reconnecting with her long-lost son. She was recruiting him. Each letter revealed more. Plans, scripts, how to engage me, what I liked, what made me trust. She's cautious. Earn it. Slowly. Don't push. Ask her about her dreams. No one ever does. Don't mention the past. I'll handle that. It was all there. Every move he made in our courtship came from her. I thought I'd fallen in love with a stranger. But I'd fallen in love with a man performing her direction, and I married him. And I let her give a toast, and I believed every word she said. You make her better. You protect her light. You're the only one who truly sees her. They were all lines she fed him. I sat at the kitchen table with those letters spread around me like a battlefield. They weren't confessions, they were instructions. My life wasn't a betrayal, it was a script. I stayed at the kitchen table until the light shifted, afternoon to evening. Letters scattered around me, pages curling at the corners. I didn't touch them after I finished reading. I didn't need to. I already knew the story. Every time I thought it was over, every twist, every betrayal, there was always one more. One more lie, one more truth buried under the last one, because this wasn't a single act of cruelty. This was a life curated for me, curated by them, and the longer I sat in that kitchen, the more I realized. They didn't just break my life, they built it wrong from the start. I went back to the filing cabinet in his office to see if I missed anything else, the one where we kept taxes, home insurance, wedding documents. Sure, enough I did. In the back was a folder labeled Emma Personal. I'd never noticed it before. It had 3 items inside, a sealed envelope with my name on it, a USB drive, a document titled Amendment of Guardianship. I opened the envelope first. It wasn't a letter, it was a legal statement, typed, signed, dated 4 years ago, 3 months before I met him. I, Eleanor May Holloway, do hereby amend prior declarations to reflect the need for an alternative guardianship structure should I become medically incapacitated or deceased. The appointed party is Jonathan M. Carter, hereafter designated as primary co-decision maker for matters concerning the care and well-being of Emma Holloway. It didn't make sense. Guardianship? I was an adult at the time. Why would I need a guardian? Then I opened the next document. It was a psychological report, dated 10 years prior. It said I had experienced significant trauma, cognitive dissociation, and chronic memory suppression as a teenager following my father's death. I didn't remember any of that. I didn't remember being evaluated at all. I read the report 3 times. It claimed I was vulnerable to suggestibility, that I had difficulty maintaining emotional boundaries, that I would benefit from external emotional anchors to maintain stability. External, emotional, anchors. Was that what I was to her? A condition? A problem to manage? Had she built this life for me not because she loved me, but because she feared what I would become without her? I plugged in the USB drive. There were videos, clips from old camcorders. Me at 15 screaming. Me at 16, silent in a doctor's office. Recordings I had never seen, things I didn't even remember. One file was audio only. It was a conversation between her and someone else, a doctor. She's never going to remember what happened unless it's reintroduced carefully. You mean reintroduced through someone she trusts? Exactly. A partner, a companion, someone who can be a fixed point, a stabilizer. My breath caught. That was the moment it all snapped into focus, the final twist in my mother undoing of my life. My mother didn't just set me up to be betrayed, she set me up to be managed. My entire life after my father passed wasn't just rewritten, it was controlled, engineered, by the one person I trusted most, by the woman who raised me, by the man I married, by the people who made sure I would never be alone because they wanted what was left to me. I was never just her daughter, I was her project, and he wasn't just her first family. He was her solution. My marriage wasn't a relationship, it was a containment plan, a behavioral structure, a lifelong script. And I was never supposed to find out, but I did. And now? Now all that's left is the truth. Not resolution, not closure, just the weight of everything they tried to hide and take from me. And the quiet question that follows me into every room I walk into now. If the people you love and trust lied about everything, how do you ever know who to trust?